Hello everybody, 8-Bit Flashback here. The Sega Channel was an online gaming service for the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive consoles that launched in December of 1994, and it provided 50 plus games a month that you could download and play on your console by using the Sega Channel Adapter. The Sega Channel was so ahead of its time, and it provided so many great memories for me, so I decided to relive my experiences by making a mini Sega Channel Adapter. So I'm using a MegaPi case made by Retroplag, along with a 3D printed mini Sega Channel adapter that's powered by a Raspberry Pi 3 with a Retropie Operating System. And for my intro splash screen, I'm using the original Sega Channel boot intro. And if you're interested in this intro, this will be available for download down below in the description. For my Retropie theme, I'm using a very awesome Sega Channel theme made by Will Allen and Cynical Enigma, and I will have links for this theme in the description as well. For the background music, it was added separately, and I'm using the original Sega Channel main menu music. The original Sega Channel allowed you to download only around 50 games a month, but now with the power of Retropie, I can play thousands of games instantly while enjoying the Sega Channel experience. Let's go ahead and try a game out. Megaman Willy Wars was actually a Sega Channel exclusive that was never released in North America, but it did eventually get released in Japan and Europe. It was a video game compilation that featured remakes of the first 3 Mega Man games. So playing this on my mini Sega Channel gives me flashbacks of actually playing this on the original Sega Channel. To make this, I used my 3D printer. Then I added a label. Then I dremeled a small hole so I could add a 32GB USB thumb drive and make my mini adapter actually functional. Then I used a short right-angle USB extension cable to connect it to my Pi 3. To secure the cartridge, I used magnets, but Velcro could be used as well. The only mod I ended up doing to my case was some small cuts to the corner of the USB access cover so the cord could come through. Now I could have somehow designed it so it connected inside the cartridge slot, but that would have involved a lot more cutting and hacking to my very nice looking MegaPi case, so this was a better option for me. And originally the Sega Channel adapter had 2 cables that connected to the back of it, one for cable and one for power, so this actually gives it a more realistic look with the cable plugged in the back of it. And this is going to work great for my next project, which is going to be the Mini 32X. So all my games are now stored on the USB thumb drive, which is inside the Sega Channel adapter. And if you're looking to 3D print this mini adapter, it is available at Thingiverse, and the link will be down below. This theme also works great for a variety of other systems, so you're not just limited to the Genesis. Up next is another Sega Channel exclusive, Garfield Caught in the Act, also known as Garfield The Lost Levels, which included at least 3 levels that never got released in cartridge format, and to this day, no ROM dump exists that features these missing levels. The 3 levels that were missing from the Genesis version was Alien Landscape, Bonehead the Barbarian, Slobbin Hood, and there is even a deleted train scene from the Casablanca level. Right now I'm playing a demo of the Sega Channel from November of 1995, which features a Garfield game in the test drive section, which could be the one that contained the missing levels. But I believe the test drive versions were only playable for 20 minutes, and unfortunately this is not playable, it's just a menu. But it's still very cool to see some artwork for the game, and there was even a contest where you could win all kinds of gear for the upcoming Genesis game. Here's a look at the Genesis version of Garfield Caught in the Act, which featured 6 different levels. For that missing Alien Landscape round, it actually resurfaced in a PC release of Garfield, which was published by Sega. For the other 2 missing levels, they showed up in a Game Gear version of Garfield, but they were in a simplified, stripped-down 8-bit state, and they looked drastically different. Here is Bonehead the Barbarian on the Game Gear, and if you want access to this round, this is the password. And as you can see graphically, it's not so impressive on the big screen, but back in the day on the Game Gear, it didn't look that bad. And this is the other missing level, Slobbin Hood. And again, this round is quite a bit different from the Sega Channel version, but this might be as close as you will ever get to playing the original. On the Genesis version of Garfield, the graphics were actually very impressive, and the gameplay was great as well. And for the Game Gear version, it's okay. Now this, I believe, was a Sega Channel exclusive for Japan that features a Sega Channel menu. And I'm not very familiar with how the Sega Channel worked in Japan, but obviously this game menu had something to do with it. And unfortunately, again, nothing is playable, it's just a menu. But it's still very awesome to see a little bit of what Japan's channel looked like. Okay, it's time for me to get out of here. If you liked this video, if you could, hit that like button, and have yourself a great day, and I'll see you next time.
fatality.